Outlaw motorcycle gangs, or OMCGs, are a powerful force in Australia's criminal underworld. These groups ride big, loud motorcycles and often wear matching jackets with gang logos. But they are much more than just bike enthusiasts. Many OMCGs are deeply involved in organised crime, using their clubs as a cover for illegal business. Australia is home to some of the world's most feared biker gangs. Names like the Hells Angels, Bandidos, Comancheros, Rebels, and Mongols are well known. These gangs often control entire areas, or turfs, and hold tight power over their members. They have been around for decades and continue to grow both in numbers and influence. Unlike friendly motorcycle clubs, outlaw gangs have a strict code and don't welcome outsiders. Their activities often include serious crimes. They are secretive and fiercely loyal. The public usually sees only the surface, the leather jackets, Harley-Davidsons, and tattoos, but there is a dangerous criminal network beneath. Understanding how these gangs work is important. They are not just a problem for police, but also for communities across Australia. Their power, crime, and violence affect many people's lives. Several major outlaw motorcycle gangs operate across Australia. The Hells Angels are perhaps the most famous, with chapters in Australia's biggest cities. The Comancheros, started in Sydney, became infamous after a deadly clash at Sydney Airport in 2009. The Bandidos, rivals to both, have a major presence, especially after the 1984 Milperra massacre. The Rebels are Australia's largest homegrown gang. The Mongols arrived more recently, but have quickly established themselves. These gangs compete for control, sometimes forming alliances, other times fighting bloody battles for supremacy. They're more than clubs. They're organised crime groups with links across Australia and overseas. It's important to know the difference between outlaw motorcycle gangs and regular motorbike clubs. Many people enjoy riding motorcycles in groups, wearing leather jackets and going on long road trips. These regular clubs are about friendship, fun, and a love of bikes. They follow the law and welcome new members from the community. Outlaw motorcycle gangs, on the other hand, have strict rules and secretive ways. Members often need to prove their loyalty through illegal acts. They don't let just anyone join. Instead, new members go through a tough process called prospecting, where they must prove themselves to the gang. Outlaw gangs are also known for their patches, special badges sewn onto their jackets. These patches show loyalty and mark territory. Wearing a patch you haven't earned, or one from a rival gang, can be very dangerous. The patch is not just a piece of clothing, it is a symbol of power and criminal association. Regular motorbike clubs want to enjoy their hobby peacefully. Outlaw gangs see themselves as separate from society. They often show little respect for the law, and their actions can put innocent people at risk. Outlaw motorcycle gangs are tightly organised. At the top is the president, who leads the chapter. The vice president helps the president and takes over if the president is away. There is also a secretary, who handles paperwork and meetings, and a treasurer, who manages the gang's money. The sergeant-at-arms enforces the gang's rules, sometimes using violence. Members are called patched members because they wear the gang's patch. Before becoming a member, a person is a prospect. Prospects do whatever the gang asks, sometimes risky or illegal jobs. They must earn the trust of full members before being allowed to wear the patch. Some gangs have nomads, who are not tied to any one chapter. They travel and help with special missions or attacks. There are also associates, people who work with the gang but are not official members. Associates might help with illegal deals or act as lookouts. This strict structure helps the gangs run their criminal businesses like a company. Orders come from the top and are carried out by lower-level members. Loyalty is rewarded and betrayal is punished quickly and harshly. Outlaw motorcycle gangs in Australia make most of their money through drug trafficking, selling methamphetamine, cocaine, and ecstasy. Some import drugs, while others make and sell them locally using secret labs. They're also involved in extortion, threatening people or businesses for money. Many run protection rackets, offering protection for a price. Money laundering is common, using tattoo shops or bars to hide illegal profits. They also traffic illegal firearms, making these gangs extremely dangerous. Competition between gangs often leads to violence. This is known as a turf war. Gangs fight over control of drug markets, territory, or sometimes just to settle personal grudges. Turf wars can involve shootings, bombings, arson, and even public brawls. Sometimes innocent people get caught in the crossfire. One of the most famous turf wars in Australia happened between the Bandidos and the Comancheros. The 1984 Milperra massacre near Sydney left 7 people dead, including a teenage girl. This event really shocked the country and showed just how deadly these rivalries can be. Gangs also use violence to send messages. If a member betrays the gang or a rival tries to take over their territory, they respond with brutal force. This violence helps the gangs keep control and scare their enemies. Turf wars are not just about drugs or money, they're about pride and power. These fights can last for years, making some areas dangerous for everyone, not just gang members. The Milperra massacre remains one of the darkest chapters in Australia's biker gang history. On Father's Day 1984, the Bandidos and Comancheros faced off in a Sydney pub car park. Guns, axes and knives were used. 7 people died and many more were injured. This incident made national headlines and led to tougher anti-gang laws. Another famous case happened in 2009, when the Hells Angels and Comancheros clashed at Sydney Airport. The fight was caught on security cameras and ended with a man beaten to death in front of shocked travellers. The violence showed that gang wars can explode anywhere, even in public places. Firebombings and drive-by shootings are also common in gang feuds. In Melbourne, the Mongols and rebels have fought over control of nightclubs and drug sales. This has led to cars and buildings being set on fire, with innocent people sometimes hurt or killed. These incidents show how dangerous outlaw gangs can be, not just to each other, but to the wider public. The violence often forces police to take special action, trying to prevent more bloodshed. Australian police and governments have taken strong action against outlaw motorcycle gangs. After events like the Milperra massacre, new laws were made. Anti-consorting laws make it illegal for known gang members to meet in groups. Some states have banned clubhouses or stopped gangs from wearing their patches in public. Special police task forces, like Task Force Echo in Victoria and Task Force Maxima in Queensland, focus only on biker gangs. These units use undercover officers, surveillance and raids to gather evidence. They try to break up gangs by arresting leaders and seizing money, drugs and weapons. However, fighting outlaw motorcycle gangs is difficult. Laws are different in each state, and gangs adapt quickly. Some move their operations to states with softer laws. Others use lawyers and secret codes to hide their crimes. Biker gangs are skilled at avoiding police attention. Police also work with overseas agencies, since many gangs have links to groups in the USA, Europe, and Asia. The fight against outlaw gangs is a constant battle that needs new strategies all the time. Outlaw motorcycle gangs remain a major challenge for Australia. They are not just groups of bikers, but powerful criminal organisations. Their strict codes, strong hierarchies, and use of violence make them hard to break. They control large parts of the drug market and are linked to many other crimes. Police and governments have made progress in fighting these gangs. New laws, special task forces, and international cooperation have put pressure on outlaw motorcycle gangs. Yet, the gangs adapt, finding new ways to make money and avoid the law. It's a game of cat and mouse that never truly ends. The public often sees only the surface, the bikes, the jackets, the bravado. But behind this image lies a network of crime, fear, and power. Communities are affected by gang violence, drug abuse, and the threat of further crime. In the end, outlaw motorcycle gangs are likely to remain part of Australia's criminal world. The challenge for police and society is not just to stop their crimes, but to break their hold on power and protect Australian communities for the future.